John Miglosh for the WDMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing. I got back from nemoa a few days ago and edited my interviews that I did there on the definition of direct marketing. And they were very illuminating because everyone kind of said what I've been saying the definition has always been. And I don't necessarily agree with it. So I asked a follow-up question, and I said, how important is testing to your definition? And their eyes lit up, and they talked about testing, and they talked about what should be tested, and it was very, very illuminating. So I want you to hang on and listen up, and feel free to write me and see if you disagree. I've been getting lots of emails saying, I should think of direct marketing in this way or this terms, and it's very helpful. But just sit back, listen, enjoy, and feel free to write and tell me what your definition is. John Miglosh for the WDMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing. Okay, I'm here at nemoa, and we had our little meetup, and I wanted to know, what's your definition of direct marketing?
Hi, I'm Ed Luco. I'm the newest member of the WDMA. At least I will be on Monday when I actually sign up.
Way to go. But what do you think direct marketing is?
Direct marketing is anybody who markets directly to the consumer without the benefit of any sort of brick and mortar location.
That's pretty much you. What do you think direct marketing is?
I'm Ann McCarthy, and I am with Velasas, and my definition of direct marketing is similar to Ed's, but I think of it as driving consumers to either an 800 number or a website.
Okay, so your focus is to get a response, something
Absolutely.
Really tangible. And I think both of those are a component of direct marketing, and that's really probably the most common definition, I would say.
And to elicit a response.
Okay, so thank you very much. This is Brad Bishop, the president of nemoa.
Indeed.
And so, Brad,
and I get to stand next to you.
It's so exciting. I can get off the camera. It's okay. I'm always on camera. And so, Brad, I just wanted to ask you, what do you think the definition of direct marketing is?
Well, that's an interesting question. So I think the definition of marketing is all about trying to convince people to do something that you want them to do.
Okay.
And direct marketing makes that even harder and more challenging by doing it at a distance. So if you can reach out and convince somebody from a very long distance to do something that is something you want them to do in the first place, that's direct marketing.
Okay, good. Do you think it connects with any particular medium, or can it apply all over the place?
Oh, I like to use the definition as broad as possible. I think to the extent that it can be collateral for a sales conference that you want people to show up, it can be a catalog, it can be a direct mail piece. It's a wide range of things. It could be a phone call for all I know.
Oh, absolutely. What about testing? How do you think testing fits in?
Well, in most cases, I think it's fair to say if you're not testing, you're not growing. So the only way to get better at this game is to test, 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 and test. The more testing, the better. And I really believe that you can learn so much, and if you don't, you'll never figure out how to do the right thing. Everything is constantly changing. And by the way, what worked and tested out to work 2 years ago,
absolutely right,
probably isn't working today, or right for your competitor. So keep testing.
That is wonderful. Well, I have to say, this is the best nemoa I've ever been to.
Well, you are so kind.
A long
thank you very
shot,
much.
and thank you very much.
All right, take care.
This is John at nemoa, and here's Brian. Brian, what's your definition of direct marketing?
Direct marketing is reaching people directly from your brand to them at their home based on either direct mail or through the internet or their mobile device.
So it sounds like it applies to all different kinds of medium.
All different kinds of medium.
Media, I guess.
For media.
How does testing figure into your definition?
Testing is of paramount importance to anyone involved with any sort of direct marketing. Your offers can change, your audience can change, your promotion efforts can change, and you really need to be keeping ahead of the curve so that you're not caught off guard when things do change.
So if you see something that you think it's working for your competitor, do you think you just do it, or do you think that it might not work the same for you?
You should always test it, but you shouldn't throw all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah, okay. What about what are the main things you think of when you think of testing? What do you mean?
Oh, I think of different types of promotional offers, whether it's free shipping or percent off or dollars off or percent off with a hurdle or no hurdle. I think of different creative techniques, whether it's the type of photography you're using, whether you're using shots with people in them or shots without people in them, different list sources
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
that you're using. They're all very important.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sure. It's
right.
the best nemoa ever.
It is.
Hi, I'm with Larry from Hammacher Schlemmer.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Larry, what would you say your definition of direct marketing is?
Whoa, direct marketing is something that is attributable, repeatable, and measurable, and direct to the end user as opposed to going through some general display sort of things. But it's really trackable.
Okay, is it applicable to a variety of media?
Oh, absolutely. You know, I got my start in space ads and package inserts, and then backed my way into direct mail and lists. And certainly you could use it for direct response TV, radio,
Yeah, right.
all sorts of media, as well as online.
That's right. How would you say testing figures into your definition?
Well, that goes into the whole idea of repeatable
Okay.
and reproducible and scalable. So I look at direct mail and direct response actually as a way of playing king of the mountain. You know, whatever media you're using comes to the top, and then from that point on, you're trying to knock that off the king of the hill to replace it, and you just keep incrementally moving up.
So you're always testing something, and you're trying to beat that control, right?
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely.
What kind of things do you think are good to test?
Oh, well, the traditional answer is everything, right? You test color, you test offer, you test list, you test media, you test merchandise. Virtually, every element is something that needs to be refined and honed and checked.
So you're always testing something, though, you're saying?
I would say that if you want to be successful, yeah. You never go into the mail without testing something.
Okay.
That's my rule of thumb.
That's a good rule. Well, thank you, Larry.
Absolutely.
This is the best nemoa ever. Richard from Micro D, and he's worked a lot with the AAA, right?
right.
And now he's working with a lot of furniture companies.
That's right. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So, Richard, what's your definition of direct marketing?
So Micro D represents a lot of furniture retailers. So we are the platform that lets them reach out to their customers. So for us and for me, my definition of direct marketing are those customer engagement touch points across all platforms that's a two-way transaction in terms of our sending out the message and our receiving back feedback from those customers. So across all channels.
Good.
Channel agnostic, device agnostic.
Yeah. So you're saying it's not related to any particular media.
I don't see how you can confine it to any particular media, because our customers are not confined to a media. They look in a catalog, they go online, they type in the SKU or do a search. They might walk in the store and they've got it on their device. So absolutely not. No.
Okay.
I would say that's old school.
Yeah. Well, it's not even good old school, if you ask me. But what would you say testing? How does testing figure into that?
You absolutely have to test every step of the way. In my presentation, I emphasize the importance of having a really strong analytical backbone that you need to iterate, test, improve, and continue that cycle. So, the stakes are too high to not test.
Okay. What would you say are some of the main, top 4 things that you'd like to test if you got a new client?
So I would test customized messaging and dynamic website content. So replacing your content depending on the interaction with the customer and how that flows. I would test dynamic printing. So sending out your print material based on your customer profile. I think I would test different platforms and different content based on regional differences. So that's not specific to the customer, but specific maybe to a region as a retailer. And of course, testing your product mix is always really important as well.
Okay.
So, but those are all things that you can measure. Like I said, if you can't measure against it and improve, then you're not going to actually move further downfield.
I had Brad Bishop on here, and he said he'd really like some more speakers on attribution. How do you even do a test on variable print or some of that variable messaging?
Yeah, that's a great question. And actually it came up. I thought that was a good point, asking like, okay, I've been getting catalogs and emails from Wayfair for 3 or 4 years. When I buy, how are you going to tell what channel I came through or what campaign, or how do you attribute it? So I think there's a certain amount of modeling that you probably have to do on that, and then make your conjectures from there, because obviously that it's not just last touch attribution. There's a whole...
we all kind of groaned at that one.
Right. That's right. Yeah. So because of the multi-channel nature of direct marketing today, so I think modeling is really the only way you can draw certain conclusions and apply those going forward. Then you test and see if your assumptions are right. But that's probably one of the biggest challenges facing direct marketers today.
Okay, for me, this is one of the best nemoas ever, because people actually got up there and talked about testing and talked about data and results.
Yeah. It's a geek fest. It's great.
Isn't it great?
Yeah. I mean, but that's that's the point where marketing is now, or the recognition. That's where we need to be. It's really going to be data-driven decision making, and like I said, testing and evolving. Whether it's marketing or not, it's using the data to improve your performance.
Okay, thank you, Richard. We're at nemoa, and it's the best show ever. Okay, I'm with Paul Mueller from the American Catalog Mailers Association. Okay, so Paul, what's your definition of direct marketing?
It is any kind of a sale that makes it easy on the consumer, so they don't have to go anywhere. They just have to order out of their own home.
Okay, how would you say, does it connect with, I mean, you're obviously catalog oriented. Do you think it's primarily for catalogers, or do you think it applies to other media?
Oh, it's all sorts of media. It's e-commerce. There wouldn't be an e-commerce without direct marketing first coming along. And the two work together quite convenient, easily. They basically feed off of one another. E-commerce, which is now the high-profile means of direct marketing, really owes its roots to direct marketing. And
how would you say testing plays into your definition?
well, I mean, like anyone in this conference will tell you, you got to test everything till the cows come home.
Right. Can you think of, or what would be some things you'd want to test if you got somebody new to cataloging, like an e-commerce company, and they were going to put out a catalog? What would you say they should test first?
Well, that's easy enough. You put some catalogs in the mail, and you see how that drives sales, and then you pull them out of the mail, and you see what happens to your sales. Look what happened to J.C. Penney. So, that's kind of a no-brainer. You gotta.
Right. Or Sears, or Talbot's, or Boston Proper, or all these people.
They never went out. Those didn't leave the mail.
Not quite.
Pennies left the mail. Then they returned when they realized the error of their ways.
Right. Well, thank you, Paul. It was wonderful talking to you.
Thank you.
Sure.